Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel. I'm James, and today we're going on a journey together, a story full of surprises, emotions, and lessons you can use in your English speaking. Amelia, my co-host, is here with me. How are you feeling today?
Hi, James. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling really excited because today's story is something a little unusual, a little mysterious. It's one of those mornings that starts like any other, but then suddenly everything changes. I love sharing these kinds of stories because they make your English more alive. And today we will practice not just words, but feelings, pauses, and the way people really speak.
Exactly, Amelia. So imagine this. It's early in the morning, the sky is still dark, and the streets are quiet. You wake up to the sound of birds singing, but there's something unusual. Maybe it's a sound you've never heard before, or maybe it's the way the light comes through your window. That's where our story begins.
Oh, I remember mornings like that. You think it's just a normal day, but then something small happens that makes everything feel different. James, what happened in your story?
Okay, here's the thing. I was still half asleep, wrapped in my blanket, when suddenly I heard a soft tapping sound on my window. Not like rain, more like tiny knocks. I thought maybe it's just a branch, or maybe a bird. But no, it sounded too regular, too deliberate. And in that moment, I felt a mix of curiosity and a little nervousness. Have you ever felt that, Amelia?
Oh, yes. That moment when you're not sure if you should get up or stay under your warm blanket. The heart beats a little faster, and every small sound feels like it's speaking to you. I love that feeling in stories. It makes us alert, makes us want to know what happens next.
Exactly, and that's what we want our listeners to feel today. When you tell a story in English, it's not just about the words. It's about the pauses, the little details, the small actions. So I got up slowly, careful not to make any noise, and walked to the window. The tapping had stopped, but outside, something unusual caught my eye. A small shadow moved across the yard.
A shadow. That's so intriguing. Shadows are perfect in storytelling because they make the listener ask questions. Who is it? What is it? And here, learners can practice words like shadow, move, quiet, slowly, curious. Very simple words, but full of meaning.
Right, Amelia. I opened the window slowly. The air was cool, fresh, but there it was, a small cat, black as midnight, sitting in the middle of the garden. But it wasn't just sitting, it was staring at something, almost like it had a mission. And in that moment, I realized this morning was not going to be ordinary.
Oh, I can see the suspense. You're using very simple words, cat, staring, morning, but together they create a picture. Listeners can imagine it, and they practice understanding English in context, not just translating word by word.
That's exactly the point. So I stepped outside quietly. The cat didn't run, it just looked at me, as if it wanted me to follow. Now here's a challenge for all our English learners listening. Try to describe what you would do if a mysterious cat appeared in your garden early in the morning. Speak slowly. Use simple sentences. For example, I walk slowly. I watch the cat. It is black. It does not run.
That's a great practice, James. And listeners, you can also try using feelings. I feel curious. I feel nervous. I want to know what happens. Simple words, right? But very effective.
So I followed the cat. And guess what? It led me to an old, forgotten corner of the garden. There was a small box covered with leaves. I had never noticed it before. And here's the key. This box was locked, but it had strange symbols on it. Now, Amelia, imagine seeing a box like this in real life.
Oh, wow. That's perfect for storytelling. You can practice describing shapes, colors, sizes. The box is small, it is old, it is brown. There are symbols. I do not understand the symbols. And learners get to use their imagination while speaking English.
Exactly. So I picked up the box. It was heavy, heavier than it looked. My heart was racing, but I felt a strange excitement. This is where stories become fun. You can teach emotions and reactions. I feel excited. I feel scared. I want to open the box.
Yes, and don't forget the questions. Questions make stories interactive. What is inside? Who left it? Why is it here? Questions are simple, but they help learners practice speaking like real humans, not just reading sentences.
So, after a few moments of hesitation, I decided to open the box. And inside, there was a small notebook. The cover was worn, pages yellow, but there was writing on the first page. And this is the twist. The writing was a message.
Ooh, messages in stories are magical. They pull us in. And for English learners, you can practice reading aloud simple sentences, even mysterious ones. Hello, I have a secret. Follow the clues. Simple words full of suspense.
Exactly. And here's where the story starts to teach us something. The message said, "The adventure begins where curiosity meets courage." And in that moment, I realized, this morning, this shadow, this cat, this box, it was all about starting something new, something unexpected.
That's beautiful, James. And listeners, this is where you can pause and repeat sentences like, "The adventure begins where curiosity meets courage." Say it slowly. Feel the words.
Shadowing is about repeating, copying the rhythm, the feeling, not just the words. When you speak this way, your English becomes natural, like a storyteller.
So, James, in Section 1, we practiced noticing small details, describing objects and feelings, asking questions, and speaking with curiosity. We used simple words like look, see, follow, feel, and walk slowly. And we practiced suspense, which makes your English sound natural, alive, and human.
That's right. And in the next section, we'll open the notebook fully, read the mysterious messages, and follow a new path that teaches not only English, but observation, conversation, and storytelling skills.
Oh, yes, listeners, get ready. The adventure continues, and we will practice more English in real-life situations. Keep repeating, keep speaking slowly, and enjoy the story with us.
Perfect. And we'll be right back after a short pause. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel, everyone. I'm James, and we're continuing our garden adventure story. Amelia, last time we left off at the magical moment, holding a mysterious notebook. How exciting!
Hi, everyone. Yes, James, I still remember that moment. It gives me goosebumps. The notebook was old, the pages yellow, and the first message was, "The adventure begins where curiosity meets courage." Now that's a sentence full of curiosity and courage, right?
Absolutely. And here's the fun part. When I opened the notebook fully, I noticed something amazing. Each page had a small clue, a drawing, or a short sentence, but they were all written in very simple English, perfect for our listeners to practice. For example, one page said, "Look around. What do you see? Follow the path."
Oh, that's perfect. Listeners, repeat after me slowly. Look around. What do you see? Follow the path. Say it with curiosity. Pretend you are stepping into the adventure yourself.
Right. So I looked around the garden. There were flowers, stones, a small wooden bench, and then I noticed something strange. A tiny arrow carved in a tree, pointing towards the old shed at the end of the yard. The notebook said, "Follow the arrow."
Oh, arrows are simple, but they give direction and action. You can practice English with verbs like follow, look, walk, go, and feelings like excited or curious. Say it. I see an arrow. I follow the arrow. I feel curious.
Exactly. So I walked slowly to the shed, every step careful but curious. And Amelia, you know what I saw next.
A hidden door? A secret box?
Close. The shed door was slightly open, just enough to let a little light through. And inside, there were small boxes, more notebooks, and a map. But the interesting thing was, each notebook had a short story inside, and each story taught a lesson about courage, kindness, observation, and speaking.
That's wonderful, James. And for our listeners, this is gold. You can practice reading English stories in simple words, not just reading, but speaking them aloud. For example, I open the notebook. I see a story. The story is about courage. I feel excited. Repeat slowly. Feel the words.
Right. And then there was a question at the end of the page. What would you do if you found a lost bird? That's where we start using English for conversation, not just reading.
That's very important. Listeners, you can answer slowly. I would help the bird. I would give water. I would find its home. Simple sentences. Speak aloud. You are practicing.
Right, and reflection is important. In our story, we reflected at each step, after seeing the cat, after solving the riddle, after following the rainbow. You can practice this too. I see something new. I feel excited. I learn something. Simple daily practice.
That's wonderful advice, James. Listeners, here's a fun exercise. Take a notebook, like in our story. Each day, write or speak 5 simple sentences about your day. I see, I feel, I do, I learn, I enjoy. And practice shadowing these sentences aloud. Perfect. And one more thing. Listening is as important as speaking. In our story, we listened to the birds, the water, and the children. Listening helps you notice details and speak naturally. Practice listening and repeating. I hear birds. I hear water. I hear children laughing. I feel calm.
Exactly, James. And reflection also means noticing improvement. Each time you speak, you get better. Simple sentences repeated aloud make your English fluent and confident.
Yes, Amelia. And for our listeners, we have one final reflection exercise from the adventure. Imagine the cat, the notebook, the rainbow path, the chest, and the children. Describe the whole journey in English using simple sentences. For example, I wake up early. I hear a sound. I see a cat. I follow the cat. I find a notebook. I read the messages. I follow the rainbow. I play with children. I open the chest. I feel happy.
Oh, that's excellent practice. And you can add feelings after each sentence. I feel curious. I feel excited. I feel amazed. This helps connect your thoughts, feelings, and words naturally in English.
Exactly. And here's the final lesson. English becomes alive when you describe, feel, ask, and repeat. You don't need complicated words, just simple, clear sentences spoken slowly with emotion.
And storytelling is the best way to practice all of this. Observe your surroundings, notice small details, describe actions, ask questions, share your feelings, and speak slowly. You'll sound natural, confident, and fluent.
So, to summarize Section 4, we practiced reflection, describing events, feelings, listening, asking questions, connecting sentences, and shadowing. These are simple steps, but they make a huge difference in your English.
And in the next section, we'll take everything we learned and practice using English in a longer, connected story. We'll add dialogue, choices, and small challenges. Still simple, still natural, still full of emotion.
Exactly. Listeners, take a short pause, repeat your sentences aloud, and get ready to continue your adventure in Section 5. English becomes alive when you practice every day.
That's right. Keep speaking slowly, noticing details, feeling emotions, and repeating sentences. Your English journey is just beginning, and it's full of joy.
Perfect. Section 4 complete. Welcome back, everyone, to the English Learning Podcast channel. I'm James, and we're continuing our exciting garden adventure. Amelia, last time we reflected on our journey and practiced a lot of English. What's next?
Hi, everyone. Yes, James. The next part is full of a little challenge. The notebook had one final instruction. A surprise waits for those who are brave. Speak with heart and step forward.
That's simple English, but it tells us to act and describe.
Exactly. So I walked slowly toward a small wooden bridge near the fountain. It looked old, a little wobbly, and I felt my heart beat faster. That's the perfect moment to describe feelings in English. Listeners, repeat after me. I feel nervous. I feel curious. I take a deep breath. I step forward.
Wonderful. And don't forget to describe your surroundings while you feel. I see the bridge. It is old. The wood is brown. I hear water under the bridge. Simple words, step by step.
Right. So I stepped onto the bridge. It creaked under my weight, but I kept going. And here's the fun part. The notebook said, notice what moves, speak what you see.
Oh, that's perfect for English practice. Listeners, repeat. I see leaves moving. I see a bird flying. I see a small cat near the water. I feel amazed. Simple verbs, simple nouns, and feelings. Make your English alive.
Exactly. And then, just as I reached the middle of the bridge, the small black cat appeared again, sitting calmly and staring at the other side. And the notebook's advice popped into my mind. Follow with courage.
That's exciting. And this is where you practice speaking simple instructions or actions in English. I follow the cat. I step carefully. I do not rush. I feel brave. Repeat slowly. Feel the words. Yes, Amelia. And as I stepped off the bridge, I noticed a small puddle reflecting the sky. And the notebook said, look at the reflection. What do you see? Perfect. That's descriptive English practice. Listeners, try saying, I see the sky in the puddle. It is blue. I see clouds. I feel calm. I feel happy. Notice how you can use simple sentences to describe small details.
Exactly. And then the challenge appeared. A small obstacle, a fallen branch blocking the path. The notebook said, find a way. Speak your plan.
Oh, that's wonderful for conversation practice. Listeners, repeat. I see a branch. It is on the path. I move it carefully. I step over it. I feel confident. Use your own feelings too. I feel cautious. I feel brave.
Right. So I carefully moved the branch aside and the path was clear. And then a small surprise. Behind the branch was a small garden I had never seen before, full of flowers, small stones, and little wooden signs with messages in English.
That's magical. And for English learners, this is amazing. You can describe everything. I see flowers. They are red, yellow, and pink. I see small stones. They are round. I see little signs. I read the signs. Repeat slowly and clearly.
Yes, and the signs had messages like, smile to the world, speak your joy, notice the small things. And I realized that the challenge was not difficult. It was to notice, speak, and feel in English.
That's wonderful advice, James. Listeners, repeat after me. I smile, I speak, I notice, I feel happy, I feel alive. Simple words, strong meaning.
And then I came to a small table with 3 little notebooks on it, and each notebook had a short story inside. And here's the next challenge. The stories were written as questions.
Oh, questions are excellent for English practice. Listeners, repeat. What would you do? How do you feel? Who can help you? What can you find? Simple sentences, but they make your brain and mouth work together.
Exactly, Amelia. So I picked up the first notebook. It said, a bird is trapped in a bush. How can you help it? And I spoke aloud on English. I see a bird. It is trapped. I take a stick. I help the bird. I feel happy. Listeners, repeat and feel the words. Perfect. Listeners, repeat slowly. I see a bird. It is trapped. I help the bird. I feel happy. I feel proud. Adding your own feelings makes English alive. And then the second notebook had another question. A rainbow appears after the rain. What colors do you see? And I described it. I see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple.
I feel amazed. I feel joyful. Excellent. Listeners, practice describing colors, objects, and feelings. I see a red flower. I see a blue butterfly. I feel happy. I feel amazed. Shadow slowly, step by step. And the third notebook said, a friend smiles at you. What do you say? And I said aloud, hello, I'm happy to see you. How are you today? And that's where conversation practice comes in. Simple greetings, simple replies, simple feelings. Yes, listeners, repeat slowly. Hello, I am happy to see you. How are you today? I feel happy. I feel friendly. Speak with emotion, just like talking to a real friend. And that's how the challenge worked. It wasn't about difficult tasks. It was about noticing, speaking, feeling, and sharing in English, step by step, sentence by sentence. Exactly, James. And this is the perfect practice for all learners. Simple sentences, describing surroundings, asking questions, expressing feelings, and having small conversations. That's natural English. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel, everyone. I'm James, and we're approaching the final part of our garden adventure. Amelia, last time we faced a challenge, moved obstacles, and practiced conversation. What's next? Hi, everyone. Yes, James, this part is the most exciting part. The notebook's last page said, a surprise waits for those who are brave, speak with heart, and step forward. That's simple English, but it tells us to act and describe. Exactly. So I followed the path beyond the rainbow, and the cat ran ahead, stopping near a large tree.